Temperate grasslands are one of the most imperiled ecosystems in the world. We've lost nearly 80% of native grasslands, predominantly to agriculture. Restoring grasslands in the United States is at the heart of the work of the Great Plains Science Program. The program is a collaboration uniting scientists from the Smithsonian National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute with private landowners, conservation groups, and native tribes. One of the first species they looked at was bison.
So we start off with an estimate of about 30 to 60 million bison that used to roam North America. And by the beginning of the 1900s, they were just decimated, gone. There was a massive hunting industry and also strategic hunting of bison as a way to hurt the Native American communities that relied on them.
For Native tribes, bringing buffalo back to their homelands is an effort that has just begun. Bison have been slowly returning to the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation, starting in the mid-1970s. In 2013, a herd of 34 buffalo was released.
This is a great day for our reservation. It means so much to tribes just in general that we look after this animal that looked after our ancestors 200 years ago. It's not over yet. We're going to continue to try and help this animal however we can.
Fort Belknap is one of 5 tribal nations in Montana that have joined with the Smithsonian to form the Intertribal Grassland Network, a first-of-its-kind ecological research program focused on buffalo and grassland health. Rocky Boys Reservation of the Chippewa Cree tribe is also part of the network. They brought back buffalo in 2021. As a keystone species, buffalo on the prairie has profound ripple effects.
Only good things can come from it for everyone involved. The buffalo, the land, the birds, the bugs, the people. Everyone involved will benefit from it. There's birds that are around that we haven't seen in a long time. Burrowing owls, the various finches, various meadowlarks. There's bugs that are around here, dung beetles that rely on the bison. The bison walk through this sagebrush and these grasses and create trails for the birds to build their nests. They shed hair for all the animals to line their burrows with, their nests with. So the bison being here, they help out every other animal that lives out here on the prairie in one way or another.
Bison aren't the only species that helps out others. So do prairie dogs. Prairie dogs build massive underground burrows. These prairie dog towns are biological hotspots. They provide nests for burrowing owls, protection for snakes, and habitat for mountain plovers. Black-footed ferrets literally couldn't survive without prairie dogs. They're the only thing they eat.
Trap 5 is a male, 2.89 kilograms in the trap.
The purpose of the calling of the prairie dogs is we're investigating their movement ecology. We know very little about the extent of these burrows. It's really an underground world that has been virtually unstudied. So,
Caller 42.
Any information we can gain can help us kind of understand how these animals are using that space and what that underground habitat means to a prairie dog.
Prairie dog towns are also fundamental to the reintroduction of an endangered prairie species, the swift fox. Swift foxes use prairie dog burrows for their dens. 27 swift foxes were released on the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation in 2020.
NOHAT is back to bring balance here in Fort Belknap. It's good things like this that brings hope. You think about when the swift fox used to run with the buffalo and the prairie dogs and the coyotes out here and the birds. It's just going to bring balance back to this land like how it should be.
restoring the prairie will require generations of commitment. The Great Plains Science Program is taking the long view, gathering data to inform conservation, working with local communities, and acting on a large scale so the prairie can flourish again.